Hello, everyone. I'm Sabina Mathur, and I'm Director, ITS Publishing Solutions and Application Development at the American Psychological Association, also known as the APA. I want to thank NEC Software Solutions for having given me this opportunity to present at the annual publishing conference. I'm delighted to share some of the recent transformation and innovation journeys at APA and provide insights from the outcomes of these endeavors. So, to just provide a little background about the APA, the American Psychological Association is the leading scientific and professional organization representing psychology in the United States. We have more than 122,000 researchers, educators, clinicians, consultants, and students as our members. The mission at APA is to promote the advancement, communication, and application of psychological science and knowledge to benefit society and improve lives. APA does this by utilizing psychology to make a positive impact on critical societal issues, elevating the public's understanding of, regard for, and use of psychology, preparing the discipline and profession of psychology for the future, and strengthening APA's standing as an authoritative voice on psychology. Please feel free to read and learn more about APA's work and impact at www.apa.org. To fulfill APA's mission, there's a lot of focus at publishing essential psychological content to support research, education, practice, and general well being. Now, as a publisher, APA has a slew of publications and products. Some of the offerings include APA Style, which is used by writers in many disciplines around the world to write with clarity, precision, and inclusion. The publication manual of the American Psychological Association is on Amazon's bestseller list consistently. APA also publishes critically acclaimed and award winning books developed by experts to support researchers and students. The Imagination Press line of children's books from APA help parents, teachers, caregivers, and counselors in all areas of child psychology. Further, APA is proud to publish 90 peer-reviewed journals spanning the breadth and depth of psychology. APA's databases and electronic resources are world-renowned, developed to facilitate research and student success. The APA psychotherapy training videos are intended for mental health professionals. Thus, as a publisher, APA publishes peer-reviewed journals, books, and other products, and maintains several electronic databases and resources. Some of the flagship products that are supported by the IT department at APA are Academic Writer, an authoring tool for teaching and learning effective writing that helps instructors support students through the process of writing papers in courses that require APA style. APA PsychNet, an intuitive search platform designed specifically to deliver APA content. APA PsycInfo, a premier abstracting and indexing database covering the behavioral and social sciences from the authority in psychology. APA Psych Articles, a database of full text, peer reviewed articles from top cited psychology journals. APA Psych Books, a set of scholarly and professional psychology books available at the chapter level, and several such other databases. In the past 2 years, IT services facing APA publishing have gone through a major transformation. We have intentionally developed and embarked on several journeys with the goal of modernizing and stabilizing our platforms and products, and of course, the application development processes. Basically, we changed from being traditional publishers to be more focused on greater velocity and the ability to act on new opportunities and deliver more customer value. We adopted Agile and Devops to help AP accelerate application delivery, save time with automation, and standardize application development. It was time to stabilize both the systems and its architecture so that we could remove legacy technical debt and bring in innovation and latest publishing trends. Some of the changes we went through are adoption of agile methodology, migration to the cloud, implementation of DevOps to accelerate every SDLC phase, institution of change management, improvement in quality assurance via test automation, and innovation in release management. Moving away from waterfall methods, we worked with key business stakeholders and created several dedicated agile teams. Roles of each team member were clearly defined. As this was all new for staff at APA, we went through series of hands-on trainings. Product owners and scrum masters were trained specially to take over lead roles in the agile transformation. Now we have several product teams and share teams. So we went with a good mix of true Scrum and Kanban and applied the appropriate methodology. Then we did foundational work towards developing roadmaps for each value stream. These roadmaps were aligned with APA's overall strategy. Once we had the roadmaps ready, it was time to drill down to create well-defined features, outline dependencies, and create prioritized backlogs of epics, stories, and tasks. Each ticket created had clear specifications and acceptance criteria. With healthy backlogs refined and estimated, we started the Agile journey and 2 week sprinting began at APA. The Scrum teams consisted of dedicated developers, testers, subject matter experts, besides the product owner and the Scrum Master. We started embedding partner teams within the Scrum process. And so the UX, operations, and security teams were always in the know. That led to major collaboration. For inter-team collaboration, we started a Scrum of Scrums practice that kept everyone on the same page. Then we began to deliver end of sprint product releases, and we were able to deliver value to the products every 15 days. Besides developing this process, we created a high level of stakeholder groups for each application. Here, staff from key areas such as product development, customer engagement, sales and marketing, and information technology worked together to create an effective pipeline of customer-facing functions and IT-related changes. These approved projects became the team's roadmap, guiding them through the sprints. So one might ask, after 2 years of being agile, what are the outcomes at APA? Well, firstly, we now do continuous delivery of valuable software to satisfy and improve the customer experience. We have a consistent, quick, and efficient release cadence. This is in direct contrast to traditional waterfall times when we took months and even years to bring improvement to our customers. Secondly, we have developed a minimum value product MVP thinking. We develop the changes as best as we can in a sprint and deliver them. Then we refine them in the next sprint. We no longer try to perfect the deliverable, which took so long previously that it became irrelevant. Furthermore, the Agile process provides the ways for indefinite sustainable development and provides work at a regular pace to the teams. Also, we now experience increased flexibility. Specifications are not set in stone. As we develop, we allow late changes in specifications, but these late changes have minimal impact as at any time you only have 2 weeks in a sprint setup and a change of plans is not that bad. Going agile has further helped us in greater knowledge building, and we now have good depth in our teams. Everyone picks up work of all kinds. Developers are now becoming more full stack. But one of the main outcome of Agile at APA is the very close collaboration we have developed with our key stakeholders and business owners. Things are now very transparent. The business management is now a part of the process and they drive the priority. They understand the efforts of the IT teams and they like working with us. The smoothing of the development process has left space in terms of time, money, and human resource to do several things. We now pay continuous attention to technical excellence and good design as we have the time to architect things better. In the past 2 years, we have removed decades of technical debt and we are now focusing on innovation. Going agile has helped us complete migrating to the cloud, and we have made several DevOps advances. Sometimes I cannot even remember how we did application development before Agile. And when I do remember, I feel immediate and immense relief that we took the pivot towards Agile, one of the best decisions made at APA. Going to the cloud was a parallel journey we embarked on along with Agile. We chose Amazon Web Services, AWS, as our cloud provider. To start this journey, we developed a very skilled cloud strategy team, which consisted of certified cloud engineers. For each application, there was intense design work, it done to arrive at an optimized and effective cloud architecture. The Scrum teams worked with the operation teams to upgrade the technical stack prior to moving to the cloud. This included upgrades of databases and sometimes even moving to a different kind of relational database. We moved to different operating systems, we refactored several integrations, and we rewrote many of our systems and processes in better and modern technologies. We not only migrated the main products, platforms, production, and delivery systems, we migrated identity, e-commerce, and admin tools too. Almost nothing was simply forklifted, rather all technical debt was paid off. As a result of these migrations, we can accurately claim that we have moved all of our publishing facing systems to better, lower cost, and secure solutions. The DevOps journeys at APA were a natural consequence of completing the Agile and AWS endeavors. It had become evident that we had two areas that needed improvement immediately. Those were change management and release management. So we started work on enhancing the software release lifecycle. We established standards in implementing unit tests to improve code coverage. We now have thousands of unit tests for each platform. We perform pair programming and peer review processes for each code change. Good repository management, branching and merging of code protocols, and such were developed. We added automated testing, which I will go into more depth later in this presentation. We also added security code scanning. Then we instituted a change management board that checked on risks of each deployment and drafted change management instruments for the Scrum teams to measure the strength of their change management processes. Finally, we enhanced the deployment processes for all environments and created release management policies. The next step at APA was to move towards CI/CD, and we began working on continuous integrations in order to bridge the gap between development and operation activities. We worked on enforcing automation in building, testing, and deployment of applications. So we converted many of our external facing applications to use Docker images and completed the containerization of development, testing, and production environments. This immediately gave us good results. The development for these applications became much easier, and as we went AWS, we started using AWS Fargate for deployments. We designed blue-green deployments, and now we don't have any downtime during releases, even on our read and write products. We also are able to automatically scale up in times of heavy load and scale down when the traffic is less, which helps in reducing infrastructure costs. Continuing working towards bringing in CI/CD practices, we next created cloud-based pipelines for deployments. Built on the most widely used automation server in the world, Jenkins, cloud-based continuous integration provides flexible, scalable, and governed CI/CD. Now, the cloud-based pipelines we created have been leveraged to transform manual complex steps into simple procedures that any developer can manage. From both containerization and cloud-based pipelines, production deployments at API are now streamlined, standardized, and quicker, and they provide for dependable releases. We now complete sprint end releases in about 5 minutes. But what is more important is that the releases are now dependable and we can trust the process. Furthermore, the customized cloud-based pipelines also provide the ability to apply routine security patches to the containerized servers that ensure the safety of the application and its users. As our agile methodology matured, we felt the need for automating the testing. We chose Test Sigma, which is a cloud-based test automation platform. This tool uses natural language. It does not require programming expertise. It has a scriptless approach. It's pretty low cost. It does not need a test environment setup. So we started recording hundreds of test cases on all our platforms and products. Every time we add a new feature, we add automation tests, and our test suites are growing. We use these test suites for regression testing and for system-wide changes, such as upgrades and such. We schedule runs of the test suite periodically. We run them in nightly. We also run the test suite before and after releases. So the outcomes from the test automation at APA were we went from zero automation to very high levels of automation coverage. And it did not take very long. The test automation augmented the unit, the functional, and the acceptance testing we do. We do find lesser regressions in our software now, and we're definitely much more confident before deploying code at the end of each sprint. As we completed some of our transformative journeys, we had more space in terms of time and resource to do some innovation, and we set up some experiments. One of the proof of concepts we did was in the area of personalized services. We leveraged AI technologies to create a new APA service, which was personalized smart email notifications for researchers. These emails serve latest scientific literature in the field of psychology from APA and beyond APA. As users engaged with the content, the service adapted to their preferences. This resulted in an experience tailored to the specific research interest. The plan is now for users to continue their journey on our platform via a recommendation engine and topic and reference mapping tools. Today, we have thousands of subscribers of this service. The attempt is to increase usage and stickiness for our products and lead the researchers to full text. APA is a data-rich organization. Towards providing insights from data at APA, we recently completed another proof of concept, and that was the creation of a data lake. We collected, ingested events data, we organized and prepared the data for extraction, then we analyzed the data and then created dashboards or real-time reports displaying various dimensions. We provided a view of all traffic coming into APA. The idea here was to infuse and apply the outcomes to drive business needs. So I have presented details of many of the outcomes from the transformation at APA. We will, of course, continue to transform and innovate. I hope these details provided some insights to you. I will be happy to answer any questions and share more information. Thank you. I hope everybody found this interesting, and I'm open to any questions if anybody has any. I have a question from David Smith. What have been the business responses to these transformations? So this business stakeholders at APA were very much instrumental in a continuous part, they played a continuous participant role when we did these transformations. They were on board. They actually are playing the roles of product owners in the Agile teams. They allow us space in every sprint. About 30% of our sprints are saved for the IT transformations, IT innovations. They were really, really on board with all of this, especially for the data insights, as well as the data analytics that we took over. The business response was very positive, And we really collaborate very heavily with the publishing stakeholders, because they are the ones who drive the questions we ask of the data, and they are the ones who use the data. So this was very, very positive to all the transformations. It led to stable systems, 100% uptimes on our platforms, and just, peace of mind. They were all very much on board. Another question is, did you move to the cloud at the same time as adopting Agile? Did that AWS team work in an Agile way? How did you find that? So both those journeys were parallel. We did start the Agile transformation, adopting and training, forming the teams, defining roles, and moving in the journey along with our AWS migration. It just so happened that the way our on-premise data centers were set up, the decisions to get out of the data centers in that complete year was coinciding with our Agile transformation. So we did do both together, and the teams that did the AWS migration did do it in an Agile way. So we actually moved little by little, writing, rewriting, refactoring, consolidating, upgrading through Agile process, through a sprinting, creating those roadmaps. So yes, they did work together. And I think we would have not been as successful in AWS migration if we were not Agile. If we had done this in waterfall, it would have been very difficult. So I think both the processes helped each other. Any reason to use AWS than Azure or Google Cloud Platform? So there was a complete evaluation of all platforms available done. We had a cloud team that evaluated it. I think we would have worked with both. AWS and Azure would have worked together. I think at the end, it came down to cost. It came down to the money. We are actually traditionally more of a Microsoft shop, but we chose AWS because it came down to money, basically, and that was what the decision was. The next question is, you have some great offices in the best locations in DC. What's the future of office work in APA? So in late fall, APA has made a decision to be virtual first, virtual or remote first. And what that means is we are going to be working mostly out of our homes. We've actually recently gone and vacated our offices. APA actually organized that every employee got laptops, monitors, a sit and stand desk, and an ergonomic chair. It was actually sent to every staff member at APA so that everybody was set up to work from home. And we have emptied out our offices, and the building is going to be used in different ways. The planning is still on. It looks like a few floors will be opening for what we're calling hoteling space, so that when we do come in for meetings to DC, as well as have some all-hand events or some kind of conferences, then we would come in with our laptops, occupy hoteling space or conference space, and do our work and go home. But we are going to be virtual first. And so the beautiful buildings we have in DC are probably going to be leased out. So that's a change that's happened thanks to the pandemic. The next question is from David Smith. What's been your experience of moving to the cloud? What surprised you? So basically, the migration to the cloud was amazing. Amazing, because we took care of decades of technical debt. What surprised me was it looks like a mammoth project in front of you when you try to bring a large application over. But what surprised me was that the teams were able to do technical evaluation, look at the tech stack, figure out the roadmap to migrate each application. Really, we did it in a very targeted way. And what surprised me was we were able to do all our platforms, our search and browse platforms, our education products, all our database delivery, production and delivery systems, in-house custom applications, the data warehouse. We were able to do it pretty in a pretty well-planned way, and it really surprised me that we didn't have a lot of mishaps. The one thing that we did find is that when you grow organically over the years, you tend to spread out in ways that when you refactor, you see how you could have done things differently. And what surprised me was the size of the spread. We found things that were all over the place, and we didn't even have owners for some of them. People who have moved on, but there were systems that were running without really, true ownership. So there was a lot. It was a huge learning lesson. We did a lot of documentation now, completely upgraded. We have upgrade plans for the future, not to get into that debt situation. Um, the the resilience of the programming teams was amazing to watch. Everybody was extremely motivated, and it was a really collaborative process. So it was really, really good because we are in a much better place now. Is there anything else? If not, then thank you very much. This has been a really good experience, and thank you for the opportunity.